Guys, welcome back to Drawing Conversation. I am your dedicated nerd host and artist, Danny Fisher, and today we are going to be drawing the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles right now. Guys, I want to thank you again for your support. I understand that time is the only resource we can never get back, and I want to thank you for spending your time with me. Now guys, I loved the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, man. This franchise has been reimagined, retconned, and reinvented so many times it will make your head spin. So for this episode, I want to lean in hard on the original work by Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird, published in 1984. The two were best friends and budding comic creators. They originally set out to draw the most absurd and funny things they could imagine, and they went back and forth trying to outdo each other. The result was an idea that would catch the world on fire with turtle power. I still remember borrowing the first issue of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from a friend and thinking how gritty and original the art was. It was dark, hardcore, and I couldn't get enough of it. And for the record, you couldn't ask for a better translation from the comic books to the movie. Well, at least the first movie. Everything after, not so hot. At any rate, it wasn't just the martial arts and the fresh approach, it was the individual attitudes of the Turtles. So, to tell the story, I want to start from the beginning, the very original comic book origins. Our story begins decades ago in Japan, where there existed a noble ninja clan known only as the Foot. Among the ranks of the Foot clan was a man by the name of Hamato Yoshi, one of the most skilled practitioners of ninjutsu. He also owned a pet rat, which he called Splinter, and day after day, as Hamato Yoshi would train, his beloved pet rat would watch and mimic his master's movement. And in time, the rat became incredibly skilled in ninjutsu as well. Guys, stay with me here. Remember, comic books. Now, Hamato Yoshi had a fierce rival. His name was Oroku Nagi. He was hot-tempered and full of rage and seemed to only have one goal in life: best Hamato Yoshi in everything. However, it was the affection of a young woman named Tang Shen that the two competed the most fiercely for. In the end, Tang Shen made it clear her heart was for Hamato alone. Oroku Nagi jealously lashed out and beat Tang unconscious. When Hamato learned this, he lost all control and beat Oroku to death. Now I'm kind of with Hamato on this one, although death does seem a little bit excessive. This action was something the Foot Clan could not tolerate, and as punishment, he was given a choice: ritualistic suicide or being banished from Japan. Hamato accepted the latter and took his love, Tang Shen, and pet rat and fled Japan. It was New York City that the three settled down and tried to make a new life. Unbeknownst to Hamato Yoshi, Oroku Nagi had a younger brother. He was Oroku Sagi, because true villainy always has brothers. Saki vowed vengeance for the death of his brother and began training like no other. In time, he became the most skilled and highest ranking member of the Foot Clan. He would also abandon his birth name and become known only as Shredder. And it was Shredder who changed the old ways of the clan and transformed them into a criminal organization specializing in murder, blackmail, and espionage. Now guys, I just want to take a quick minute and talk about the tools that I use. In no way am I sponsored by any of these manufacturers, but rather people have reached out to me wanting to know what different tools I use. I have used this Pentel mechanical pencil for, oh man, I don't know, going on maybe 15 years. I don't really know how long I've had it. It has been just a great mechanical pencil. I love the weight, the balance. It has just been my favorite mechanical pencil of all time. Also started using this, this is the Zebra pen brush. I was using Tombow, and they make an amazing calligraphy style pen brush. I like the Zebra a little bit more just because the ink flows so much faster. And while I do like the value that a fountain tip or a fountain pen or a crow quill nib offers, I have spilled bottles of ink over art. So these pen brush offered me the same value and the same speed, but I don't have the fear of dumping a ton of ink over my art, which I have done in the past. Not fun. For the lighting, to make the colors pop, I love using this Faber-Castell pen brush. Also, you can get those thin to thick lines and just, you know, if you have to, go over it a couple times, get you that extra weight extra light if you need it for your light source. For the deep, dark shadows, I just started using this Pentel pen brush. Again, you can get those thin line strokes and then go straight to a heavier quality line. And you achieve that with one tool, and this flows extremely fast. Now, for the shading, I like using, I just started using this Artesia. One day I'm going to be able to afford some Copic pen brushes, but until then, I'm using this Artesia. I think it's a great, I've used several, but I think it's a great tool for the value, what you pay, what you can get out of it. I have just really started enjoying this. So those are the tools I use. I hope that helps. Back to the show. Shredder searched the world and finally found Hamato and Tang, killing them both. Which, in hindsight, was kind of easy because Hamato opened a martial arts studio. Couldn't be a little bit more low-key? At any rate, during the attack, Hamato's pet rat, Splinter, was thrown from the window and landed in the gutters. This became Splinter's new life, living in the sewers, surviving on whatever he could find. Then one day, while scavenging for food, Splinter noticed an elderly blind man crossing the road when suddenly a truck carrying radioactive waste came barreling down the street, threatening to crush the old man. Now, crossing the street at the exact same time was a young man and a boy leaving a pet store with the treasure of 4 baby turtles. The young man ran to save the elderly man from being killed, but bumped the boy and his turtles. The truck swerved and a canister of green ooze flew from the truck, ricocheting off the young man's head and striking the boy's new pet turtles, knocking them into the sewers, where the canister landed and coated the turtles in radioactive waste. Now I want to insert a little bit of fan fiction. That young man who saved the blind man and bumped the boy with the turtles, he was struck with the canister first, according to the original TMNT story. This canister blinded him, but it increased other senses to such a level he could hear your heartbeat through walls, smell perfumes from across football fields. This young man would learn martial arts and fight an evil ninja clan himself. If that wasn't enough, he became a world-renowned lawyer and fought crime in the courtroom. This young man was named Matt Murdock, but you might know him better as Daredevil, the man without fear. Okay. This is a bit of fan fiction and a little bit of a stretch because Marvel doesn't own the licensing to TMNT, at least not currently. But look it up, I promise. The parallels are too similar, and Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird, they loved Daredevil. I just think it'd be an amazing thing if they truly existed in the same universe. At any rate, it's Splinter that gathers the turtles, covered in ooze, and carries them to safety, raising them as his very own. The radioactive material changes them and transforms them into humanoid-type creatures, growing in size and intelligence. Splinter, seeing the turtles growing and maturing, decides they need discipline and trains them in the silent and deadly art of ninjutsu. After finding an old Renaissance art book, Splinter names his sons. First, Leonardo, adept with the dual katana blades, and is the team's leader, even-tempered, calm under pressure. Heaped on his shoulders is the responsibility of keeping the team in line. It's gotta be the worst job ever. Next, we have Donatello, master of the bow staff, the team's tech and smart guy, always studying the latest tech and creating new inventions. He was my favorite because he was really the nerd of the team. We then have Michelangelo, unmatched in the nunchuck skills. He is the party guy and spirit of the team. Quick with a joke and a smile, he embodies Mr. Personality. Again, another reason I couldn't put down the nunchucks. And finally, Raphael, expert in the size. He is the team's bad boy, physically the strongest of the turtles, and the hottest temper. He's always first to battle and never backs down from a fight. It is these four that set out to rid New York City of crime, put an end to the Foot Clan, and avenge the death of Splinter's family. Now along the way, they team up with other vigilantes for help, and even befriend a young reporter who stands up for them in the media while they fight in the shadows. But that's a story for another time. Now guys, I hope you enjoyed watching this as much as I did drawing it. If you have, please like, subscribe, follow, and don't hesitate. Leave a comment below. Let me know how I'm doing and what kind of characters you want to see drawn, and I will talk to you again soon.